And are you ready to see today's project? Yay! This is the wee box of cards I am sharing. This is almost a total case of Monica's project. It's absolutely beautiful. I did switch up a couple of things, a few changes, but otherwise it's pretty much as Monica shared with me. The star of the show is the amazing paper. The Christmastime is here. It is paper that was introduced last year during the Christmas season, and we're kind of lucky that it is held over. So the tricky part is you can't find this in the catalog. You have to be shopping online to find the code, to have it come up in the shopping display. But it is beautiful paper. I love it because it's really traditional Christmas. The colors are just amazing. It's cherry cobbler, a little bit of, let's see, what am I thinking of the other red? It escapes my mind. It has two greens, the Mossy Meadow and the Pear Pizzazz, the beautiful early espresso. Yes, and I'm going to push this aside and share with you the paper. So this paper, it's kind of cool because you get actually 4 sheets of each pattern. There are the beautiful roses, that beautiful cherry cobbler netting, and then these amazing sprays of flowers. Flip it over, and of course, you know, Stampin' Up! Has 2 beautiful sides, so more greens, more pattern, but I'm going to be sharing with you how to not waste, how to keep extending your paper so that you use up every last scrap. This is the amazing pattern that we're actually going to be paper snipping. When this first came out, it was coordinating with a stamp set and bundle, and while that's no longer available, you can still use this beautiful paper with the gold accent. I am going to give you a couple of tips. Monica says it looks great. Thank you so much, Monica. I love this little project. So here's what's special about it. You know, cards come in all sizes. We need all sizes. Let's see if I can fix the lighting just a little bit. These particular cards are perfect for gift cards, enclosure cards. You can use them instead of tags. They are the perfect size and presented in this beautiful little gold mini pizza box. It really looks really elegant. So I've created the little belly band. Of course, I'm going to slip this off, and this is very similar to the mini pizza box that I shared with you the other day. This, however, has that beautiful glossy gold finish. When you open up, here's what I'm talking about, those wee cards. These are really special note cards that you can share, and they're pretty special for just a quick thank you or just an enclosure card along with your gift so that you can sign and enclose that with your gift. I've created a little stack of 3. You could actually fit maybe up to 5 of these pretty little cards inside the box. And I'm going to share with you where I'm getting the sentiment, since we no longer have the stamp set available, but it does coordinate with another stamp set. I'm using the beautiful jewels. These are the wonderful gems in the current Christmas catalog. I talked with you about that pretty gold ribbon. That is still available. Again, it's not in the catalog, but I do have the links for you, or the item code numbers, and of course the beautiful paper. So those are my enclosure cards. I'm going to be sharing with you how I made those, as well as how I made the beautiful box to gift these in. And let's get started. So I'm going to push that aside. Instead of using the stamp set that was introduced along with that paper, we're bringing in the poinsettia petals. So here's the cool thing about poinsettia petals, and I have to laugh because one of my friends purchased this set and didn't realize that these sentiments are included in the stamp set. So not only do you have those beautiful poinsettias that you can stamp and layer, you get all of these perfect sentiments for the holidays. May magic and wonder bloom this holiday. Warm wishes from our home to yours. Thank you for making this a wonderful season. Happy holidays, and Merry Christmas. These are really useful, beautiful sentiments to use on your Christmas projects. So that's the stamping that I'm going to be doing. I did use a die set. I'm using the layering squares, and I used the 3-inch scalloped square on the cover of my box. And that's pretty much the extent of the tools that I'm going to be using. So let's start with the box itself. I did not make the box. This box is part of the main catalog offering. Let's see if I can share with you. Sometimes we skip past things in the catalog and have to take a second look before we see they're even available. So on page 152, we have mini pizza boxes, and you can see they come in Whisper White or in gold. So the gold, you actually get, let's see, how many boxes do we get here? Let's see. I can't find the number. I think it's 8 boxes for $7. And the other thing that I want to point out to you, you know, the little mini envelopes that I've enclosed in the box, they're also in the catalog on the very next page. The 3x3 envelopes, oh my goodness, you get 40 for $10. That is a stinking great deal. So you want to be using those items. And the note cards, well, I'll talk about the note cards as I come along. So on one side, it's the glossy white. On the other side, you're going to have that beautiful metallic gold. And we can go ahead and construct the box so easily. It has been pre-scored, pre-cut. All you have to do is kind of pinch it into shape. And the beautiful glossy gold is just the perfect background to make this project so elegant, so exquisite. So talking about exquisite, I did share with you another project in today's 12 weeks of Christmas email. If you're not on my email list, you want to get on it so that you're also getting additional projects, and you're the first to know about my classes, you're the first to know about any promotions. It's just a valuable resource for you. So you can join my email list. Click over to the website, AnnaMariePalmerin.com. There is an email sign up right at the top of the website, and you will be good to go to get all of the emails and announcements. So there we go. I'm just finishing this up, pinching it kind of closed and secure. Voila, box made. So I'm going to push that aside for now and show you the rest of the construction. I mentioned I'm using the layering squares. This is the scallop square. It's the biggest one, the 3-inch square. I've got a piece of, let's see, I think it's 3 by 3. Tell a lie. It's 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 Whisper White. This is going to be flat adhered over top of the Pear Pizzazz. So this paper coordinates with both Mossy Meadow and Pear Pizzazz. So I'm going to go ahead and flat adhere that. That means I'm using either my favorite liquid glue or my Stampin' Seal Plus. I'm going to make it easy on myself and just use a little bit of the Seal Plus and adhere that. It's not going to be stamped on. It's just a background layer for the beautiful spray of flowers that I took from my favorite sheet of the designer series paper. Look at all those beautiful flowers. So these have the gold accents to them. They have a lot of texture with the two tones going on. You can hand snip these flowers. They don't take a lot of effort, a little bit of time with your paper snips, and it's easily done. So I pre-snipped one of the beautiful huge roses. This is going to be adhered onto my square that I'm building here. It is going to be secured with Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm going to place the Stampin' Dimensionals towards the center because I don't want any sticking out on the edges where they will be in view on this beautiful focal point that we're building for the cover of our box. So I'm just going to flip that over. I'm going to have, let's see, this has the giant leaf petals. Those are the ones I'm going to point downward. I'm going to press that right onto there. I am going to include a sentiment that says Merry Christmas, and the sentiment comes from the poinsettia petals. So it's a beautiful scripty Merry Christmas. It is a photopolymer stamp set, so I'm going to use my piercing mat to stamp on. And I'm going to stamp in the Memento Tuxedo Black. And it's just a Merry Christmas sentiment that I'm going to layer on top of that pretty rose. So I've got a scrap that's about 1 inch wide, maybe 4 inches long. I'm going to stamp down nice and firmly. Get a nice impression on there because I want it to be just pop right off the box. Merry Christmas. So I'm going to let that dry for just a second. I don't want it to get smudgy. While I'm waiting for it to dry, I'm going to go ahead and build my bow that I'm going to add to the front. And I'm going to take some of that pretty gold ribbon, which, by the way, is your gift with purchase today. This is the coordinating ribbon to the Christmastime is Here. And you might notice in the main catalog there is no gold ribbon. This is the perfect ribbon for adding that glitz. It's about 1/4 inch thick. It's really pliable, so it makes bows nicely. It's item number 152156. So if you're on the website and you're looking for it, you can search that number, or you might be able to find it under gold ribbon. It should pop up for you. And I'm just going to make 2 little rabbit ears and pull them through. That should make a perfect ribbon that I'm going to snip. I'm kind of struggling here to get it through the center of the ribbon. And let's see how this is going to turn out. It doesn't look like it's going to be a nice ribbon, but you know, my philosophy is persevere, because in the end you're probably going to get a good result. Don't give up too soon. And let's see if I can just kind of twist it the other direction. There we go. I want a little bit shorter. And I am going to use my ribbon scissors, which I identify with the little ribbon on the handle. I'm going to make a little slanted cut. So let's see. Raise your hand if you have been watching my 12 days of Christmas. Let me know if you've been popping in before, because I want to ask you, what's been your favorite project so far? Not only which is your favorite project, I'm going to ask you another question as well, because I really want to know what's going on with your crafting. All right, now I think I'm ready to, I'm going to take this away for now. I think I'm ready to hand snip this Merry Christmas. And again, I love the curve of the text, so I'm going to bring in my scissors, my paper snips, and come in a little bit tight and kind of bend and curve with the scripty silhouette of this font. So pretty. Now you don't have to. You could cut this just as a rectangle, and it would work just as well. Or you can take the time to kind of hand snip and make it a little shape. So I'm not getting any responses. I think I've had other visitors on my 12 days of Christmas. Which has been your favorite project so far? So as a reminder, I had the K-Cups for 2. I had the Canine Treats, Canine Crunchy Treats. I had the Santa Cap with chocolates. That elegant home decor project. I had a gift card coming home for Christmas. And let's see, I had the Reason for the Season story box and the Gnome for Christmas gift card holder. Which has been your favorite? There we go. I hand snipped the Merry Christmas. And I'm ready to go. I am going to be adhering this right atop the rose. So this is going to be flat adhered. Hey, Barbara mentions she's here. Welcome in, Barb. I'm sharing with you today a box of We cards. This is a perfect gift for the neighbor. And we are filling it with enclosure cards that you can use either to write a quick thank you note or to include along with your gift. Now I'm struggling here because it looks like my favorite adhesive has a little issue going on, and I keep my tack nearby so that hopefully I can just pull that little clog out. So yay, Nikki says she likes the dog treat and the gnomes. So I have to confess, I love those dogs. I love making dog treat things as well. Hey Debbie, welcome in. I've got this pretty little wee box of cards, or box of wee cards for the neighbor. Right now we are building the cover for the gold mini pizza box. So the puppy treats was a favorite so far. Thank you, Bobby. I think that they are a perfect gift for lots of friends and family that have fur babies and fur kids and fur grandbabies. They're just going to be a hit when you arrive with the treat for the canines. So there is my focal point. I'm going to add my pretty gold bow. I'm going to use my glue dots, and I think I had them up here at the start. Already they have disappeared unless they're right in front of me, and they are right in front of me. And Bobby, I'm so glad that you're totally casing that project, because that's why I'm sharing the projects. Get you inspired, get you crafting. For a lot of us, this is how we're getting by, having to stay close to home, not be around too many other people. And also, this is the year to be making the gifts with your hands and your heart. Your peeps are going to enjoy them. So I've got my focal point here, the belly band. It's a 1 inch by 10 inch strip of Pear Pizzazz. I am going to wrap it around the box, and not too tight because I want to be able to slip it on and off. So I kind of crunch it down, form the fold, and I'm going to come back in with my bone folder and burnish down on that fold so it has a nice crisp fold to it. So my next question is not just which is your favorite, but which will you actually duplicate? Which one are you going to make? So Bobby says she's making the canine treats. What about everybody else? Will you actually make these projects? Because that's what I'm hoping that you'll do. Of course, I love it when you buy your supplies from me, because that's my business. But I also want you using what you already have at home, and also just thinking creatively. If you don't have the exact paper or the exact stamp, what I'm doing is applying a little bit of glue on here on the belly band. I love the liquid glue. Sorry about the light that's right on the gold. Hope it's not flashing in your eyes. So now I'm going to have to hold that down for just a second, and I'll tell you my trick to securing the cover onto this. I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to put them on either side of that belly band. And I'm also going to put one, or try to put one right in the middle on that seam. Kind of didn't get where I wanted it to be, but that's okay. I'm going to crowd it right there. I'm still holding it down because, of course, liquid glue takes a little bit of time to dry and adhere. But what I'm going to be doing is just adding my cover right at top here, right over the belly band. There we go. And so now the gift recipient only needs to pull the belly band off, and I'm going to let that sit a little bit longer while it dries. That was the box. So how easy is that with that beautiful paper? I am going to add a little bit of sparkle. I'm going to bring in my gems and just add a couple of these pretty gold embellishments right over the Mary. The nice thing about these wonderful gems is that you get a couple different colors. You get the cherry cobbler and you get that gold. And I'm just going to bring a couple of these in and add a little elegance to it, a little pizzazz. And let's see, right up here. There we go. So next I'm going to share with you the small enclosure cards. I did mention those 3x3 envelopes that are in the catalog. You get 40 of them. And they're so sweet, those little squares. To create the card base, I took one sheet and I cut it down to 6 inches high. Then I scored it at 3 inches across. And there you go, fold it down and you have your enclosure card. I'm going to use my bone folder to, let's see, secure that down if I could find it. How does this happen? Thank you, Sharon. I think it is a gorgeous project. It's very elegant. And I think the key to it is that paper. So now I'm using the netting pattern, and I'm going to be building on this designer series paper, and I am going to be layering on Whisper White. That's where I'm going to stamp my sentiment. And so I'm going to bring in my paper, and I mentioned to you that I'm going to give you a tip. Even though you have those beautiful floral sprays in the middle that are full, you also have some like on the edges, and you think, oh, I'm not going to use that, but let me tell you, you're missing out. I'm going to cut that out, and we are just going to fussy cut around this part of the flower. I'll put that aside because this is very usable still. So I'm putting that onto my white layer and just going to come in and fussy cut around here. And you know, the Stampin' Up! Paper snips are the best. Nice and sharp, the short blade. It helps you maneuver around all the little curves and twists. And this will be done in no time. I know a lot of people don't fussy cut. They sigh and whine when I mention fussy cutting, but it's really not that much of a bother, and it doesn't have to be exact. You're just kind of following the lines of the image and coming in and doing it really quickly. And again, you can see I'm turning the paper. And then around those little pine needles, I'm just kind of grabbing some of the tips and going right through. And there's a sweet little flower down at the end. And here's what we're going to do with this beautiful little image that looks like it's half missing. Okay, so this is going to go down at the bottom of the card like it's peeking right up to the card. I'm going to stamp a sentiment right here. Again, bringing in my piercing mat because I want to get a nice crisp image. Notice that I have not adhered that to the card base yet. That's the last thing you want to do, just in case. And so I'm just going to stamp it with one of the sentiments from the Poinsettia Petals. And at the beginning I mentioned to you, it has, let's see, several perfect sentiments, either for a thank you, just to wish happy holidays, or wishes. We use that Merry Christmas on the box. And I'm going to bring in the thank you for making this a wonderful season. Again, I'm stamping in Memento ink Tuxedo Black. And I'm going to come right in at the top of this sweet little note card. So they're really tiny, and for a lot of us, that's a blessing because you're going to write a very short message. A lot of people worry about, oh, I don't know what to write inside the card. When the card is this size, you are going to have no issues coming up with a sweet sentence to write to the recipient. So now I'm going to use flat adhesive. These are going to be living in that tiny box, so I don't want to make them too bulky. And again, my little liquid glue is clogging up quite a bit today. Let's see if I can get squeezed out. And not going to cooperate with me, so I'm going to use my Seal Plus and come in and just add a tiny bit there. Remember, I'm going to put this right up to the edge of the bottom of the Whisper White. Oh, how pretty is that? Then I'm going to flat adhere this onto that pattern that comes from the Christmastime is Here designer series paper stack. You get 4 of the beautiful sheets. Each one has 2 sides, of course. One's more of the red tones, the Poppy Parade, the Cherry Cobbler. Whoa, I did a little smudge there. Not to worry, because you know what covers that up? A beautiful bit of bling. So now I'm going to add that to my note, again with the stamp and seal. Going to put that right atop there. And here comes the Smudge Patrol. And I'm just going to get one of these. I think I'm going to take the pretty gold one, and I'm going to put it right up to that thank you. Let's balance it out with a couple of smaller ones. Off to the, let's see, we'll put one away at the top, and then we'll put another bigger one right here along the bottom by the pretty pines. And there you go. There is the sweet little enclosure card that you're going to put in that mini pizza box. So on the 8th day of Christmas, my neighbor gave to me a box of cards, so there we go. And when you slide this open, okay, there's our closed box, slide it open, you've got some pretty 3x3 note cards to gift the neighbor or anyone else on your list, and they're quite elegant. So again, Christmas time is here, paper is still available, as is the coordinating ribbon. I do have the code and the link at the top of this video. You're going to want to go shop for that. My gift to you with a $50 order is that pretty gold ribbon. So if you place a $50 order by noon tomorrow, you get that ribbon for free. As a reminder, for the 12 days of Christmas, I have been gifting gifts with purchase. They will all be sent out after the 12th day. Just in case you ordered multiple times, you'll get all the gifts that are due to you after the 12th day of Christmas.